Hi, welcome to the Portland Spring Beer and Wine Fest. My name is Stephen Schaumler. I'm delighted you're here at our Distillers panel. We have people from 3 awesome distilleries here. So we have Michelle from Vinn, and we have a wonderful gentleman. You guys want to correct me already, or should I?
Tom from New Deal.
Tom from New Deal. I was speaking it, so all of these honorary people were giving me grief about misspeaking it. And then we've got Ted from Big Bottom. So I'm delighted that you're all here. So I'm going to visit with each of them a little bit, and then hopefully they won't give me too much grief. They all seem to be very mean, but I guess that'll be okay. So, and Michelle is a little bit nervous. Is that right? She's a little bit nervous. Just a little. But what's cool is she knows her stuff. She's like, I can't do this. But I start asking her questions, and I'm like, that's cool and that's interesting. You'll do just fine. And I promise never to embarrass you or make you look bad. I would never do that. All right, so so where are you guys located at?
We're located in Wilsonville, Oregon, just about 20 miles south of here for folks that aren't out of town.
Okay, and you got to speak up real loud.
Okay.
Like pretend you're mad at your husband kind of loud.
Ah!
There you go. That's what I like.
Is that better?
That's better.
Okay.
So
great.
one of the things that you make that is that's really, really cool is you make this stuff.
Yeah, that stuff is called Bye Joe, and it basically, the pronunciation means like, bye, Joe, see you later.
Bye, Joe.
Yeah.
So what is Bye, Joe?
So Bye Joe is, the translation is white spirits, and it is the national drink of China. It's the most widely consumed product in the world. And there are like 15,000 distilleries in China that makes this, but we're the only distillery that makes it here in the U.S.
So the only place that you can get, so Baijiu is a traditional Chinese spirit, and currently the only place that you can buy it from in the United States is from Wilsonville.
Well, the only one that's made and produced by.
Only one that's made and produced. Gotcha.
Yeah.
So the others are imposters, not as good.
They're imported.
They're imported, not imposter. I always forget those two differences. Excellent. So what does this stuff taste like?
So this one is, it's much more earthy, a lot of bold flavor, caramelly. It doesn't get filtered because that's the original recipe. It's a recipe that's been in our family for over 7 generations. So our dad taught us how to make it and said don't filter it, so we don't filter it, and that's why there's so much flavor in the spirit.
So make sure you speak up and hold the mic close.
Okay.
So speaking of family,
yes.
So what's the deal with the name Vinn? Where does that come from?
Vinn is the middle name of all 5 kids. There are 5 siblings, and originally our dad wanted to call it 5 siblings, and so we were like, oh, okay, we're not quite sure about that. So we chose something that we all shared, the middle name, Vinn.
Vinn. And so I asked about the idea of her parents having 5 children, and she said eventually they got cable, and that's why there's not a 6th kid. So, all right. So you guys also make what is this that you make?
That is the rice vodka. It's the first rice vodka produced and bottled here in the U.S. as well. Yeah, and it's made with 100% long grain white rice and the rice we source from Texas.
So you have the only Baijiu made in the United States.
Correct.
Or Baijiu, and you have the only vodka, rice vodka, distilled from rice. This is all right.
The first produced. Yeah.
First produced, yes. This is very, very good. I've had it. I like it.
Yeah, thanks.
So the thing besides how it tastes, these 2 things taste amazing, but the thing I think I like second best is the cool posters. So what is this stuff?
So this is pronounced mijo. Mijo is a rice wine, and mi means rice, and jo means like wine or spirit. And these 2 are made with 100% brown rice and 100% black rice.
So this is the black rice one?
The fire is the black rice, and the ice is the brown rice, yes.
As you guys can tell, I'm an intellectual giant. I could tell that the darker one came from the black rice. So.
Yeah.
And then you guys make some cool cocktails with these, don't you?
We do, we do. Come check out our booth, and we have a lot of fun stuff over there.
And so what's your guys' website?
Our website is www.vinndistillery.com.
And then do you have do you have recipes for cocktails on your website?
Definitely we do, yes.
Excellent. Hey, didn't she do a great job for being nervous? All right, now let's bother Tom. Shall we bother you?
Sure, why not?
So no offense to the rice vodka, but this is like one of my favorite vodkas. This is just amazing. I love it. Okay, so now where are you guys at?
We're at Southeast 9th and Salmon.
In what town?
A little place called Portland, Oregon.
Portland. So you're in Portland, Oregon.
Right.
Excellent. And what do you do there?
I'm the owner. I'm the distiller. I do the paperwork. I do the mopping. I used to run it, but now my employees run it because I can't control them because they're drinking all the time.
So then you can talk right over there to Molly. You don't have to look at me unless you want to, because I did do my hair for you. So.
But she's not saying anything.
She's not saying anything. So you're the person that actually makes the magic happen.
Yes. We've gotten really busy, so I got to let other people help now. But yeah, I do all the distilling, set up all the recipes. Been doing it for 10 years now.
So I love this vodka. Tell me a little bit about it.
Well, that was the vodka I made for my younger self. I tried to keep the price at 20, and I tried to add more alcohol just because when I was 21, that's exactly what I needed. But I also wanted it to be good, nice, clean, crisp, and stand up in a cocktail. So it's sort of just a basic, solid, like a good loaf of bread at your dinner, something you want to share with the meal.
Excellent. Now, you got some other cool things. Which one do you want me to grab next?
Let's grab the rum.
The rum. This is an awesome bottle. I like this bottle. All right, so tell me about this rum. NDD.
New Deal Distillery.
New Deal Distillery, okay. And this is your Distillers cut rum?
Distillers cut. So it's an agricole style of rum, which means we start with a
what kind?
I call it agricole, which in the French just means they use sugarcane juice instead of molasses as the fermenting starter point.
Is that word what?
Agricole.
Agricole. Is that a French word?
Yeah, it just means agricultural.
Agriculture. Okay. All right. See, I don't know these things. These guys know these things. I, however, am not an intellectual giant and don't know these things.
Well, drinking makes you smarter, so let's work on that.
I like that. Drinking makes me smarter. All right. By tonight at 10, I will be brilliant. I won't be good at math.
It'll seem that way.
It'll seem that way.
Yes.
All right. So back to this rum. I apologize to interrupt you, but agricole was a cool word. I didn't know what that was.
Yeah, I like agricole. It's a little different than your molasses base. Sometimes it's grassy, but this particular batch is very butterscotchy. And so we ferment it in-house, and it's distilled in a pot still.
Excellent. Excellent. That's good. Okay, what's next?
Let's talk gin for a second.
Gin. Oh. Okay, hot summer day. Anybody like gin and tonic and some lime? Are those people like me out there? Oh, that is wonderful. All right, so talk to me about, you make gin too.
We make gin too, because anything I like to drink, eventually I end up making. That's kind of what you get to do as a distiller.
So why is it called, the name of it is 33?
Yeah, it used to be called Gin 3, but there was this big company out of England called London Dry No. 3, and their lawyers are like really tall and had a lot more muscle mass than our lawyers. So we decided we would make it 33 under the thinking that if you drank enough and your eyes blurred, the 3 would become 33.
That works.
True story.
So now I have not had this, but now I would be emotionally available to try it. So
yes. And I just want to say one more thing about it. We're calling it a Portland Dry style.
Okay.
Very juniper forward. It's sort of our interpretation. If London Dry was still made in small batch, we think it would taste like this.
So now when you say Portland Dry gin, so here's what I think, being a knucklehead.
Right.
I think of wet gin, which is probably not what you mean.
Right.
So what does dry gin mean?
Dry gin just means lighter, not sweet. I think back in the day, if we, a couple 100 years or 100 years ago in England, I think a lot of gins were sweetened, were heavier in quality. And then when the Industrial Revolution came and the stills got a little better, the gins became lighter. And I think that's why they call it dry gin.
Gotcha.
And I'm making this up, but I think it's true.
It sounded brilliant, didn't it? Excellent. Okay, so now I just have to tell you, so many inappropriate jokes go through my head as I pick up a bottle of Hot Monkey.
As well, okay, maybe they should, maybe they shouldn't, but no comment on this one.
He's a wise man. That's good for your brand. Don't make Hot Monkey jokes. Note to self.
No.
So this says that it's a hot pepper flavored vodka. So talk to me about it.
So this is something that years ago we were just playing around with peppers, and we came up with this blend of 5 different chilies to use, and the name came out of someone who tasted it and kind of went some words to the effect "Holy Monkey," and we thought Hot Monkey was more friendly.
I like Holy Monkey too, but Hot Monkey's good. So I notice you share. So it looks like you won an award for this stuff.
Gold medal in the San Francisco World Spirits Competition 2008. It was the score in the long jump that really put us over the top.
So for those that don't know, and here's my assumption, correct me if I'm wrong, that winning an award at the San Francisco World Spirits let me try that again, because I mumbled. Winning an award at the San Francisco World Spirits Competition is a big deal. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's one of the better competitions out there, and it's nice just to have the peers say, "Hey, I mean, I'm joking aside how I talk about the products. We really believe we try to make them as best we can with really good quality, really good flavor.
So what's this Perfect 31 here?
Perfect 31 is 3 parts pineapple, 1 part hot monkey. By itself, most people can't handle the hot monkey. So you need it in a cocktail, a Bloody Mary. But once you add some pineapple juice, it's like Thai cooking. Tropical sweet, a little heat, brings it down, makes it a nice summer drink, a little bit of sweat on your forehead, but not stupid hot.
Okay, so why 31?
3 parts pineapple, 1 part hot monkey.
Oh, there you go. All right. I didn't know if it was connected to 33 and there's like the missing 32.
Well, I do like numbers.
All right. So last thing, ginger liqueur.
Ginger liqueur is definitely one of our more popular products. Like most things we do, we use whole, fresh ingredients. And I think this is the one we're going to be tasting you guys on. So, I mean, like everything we do, whole, fresh ingredients, hand crush, hand chop, soak in spirits, cane sugar and agave for the sweetness. And like most things, it's about bringing you the real flavor. And that's what we try to do in all our spirits.
Excellent. Oh, I would like to. Can I get one of those? Can I get a sample of one of those? I don't want to be left out. Ginger. Now, how did you say it? Ginger?
Liqueur.
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 You say it really, really well.
I'm faux French.
Faux French. All right. Well, now, if people, I assume you've got cool recipes on your website?
Yes. NewDealDistillery.com. Recipes for all our products. And we have about 8 more products. So we only brought a few up here. But they're all up there on our website.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for joining us and visiting with us. I'll come back and hassle you in a few more minutes. All right. So no offense to Michelle and By Joe. No offense to our gentleman friend here. But a line I say a lot, I say quite often, is that, I like beer, but whiskey is better. That's just how I roll. And so, Big Bottom Whiskey, what do you want to tell us about that?
Hello. Hi, good.
Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot. I'm so excited about holding a bottle of amazing whiskey that I forget. This is Ted from Big Bottom Whiskey. You want to tell us why you have the name Big Bottom Whiskey? Some people may be thinking things that you don't intend them to.
Yeah, I do. Every bit of it. Actually, before I talk about my company a little bit, Tom was a little bit humble. This past April was the inaugural American Craft Distilling Association event where I was present there. Tom had how many products entered?
2 or 3.
And all of them won a medal. I think were they all golds?
I think 1 silver.
So yeah, 2 golds and 1 silver. So I don't want to be humble about that. He actually did a really good job. He actually, the thing I liked about it, we didn't have a lot of Portland spirits entered in this, and so it was very nice to be well represented by New Deal. So hats off to you for that one, buddy. I just mentioned that one. Big Bottom. Where's the name come from? I'm Greek, so you can figure it out from there. I was raised with a lot of Big Bottoms in my family, but this one actually came from the Clackamas Wilderness. A buddy of mine helped protect it. It is part of the 5 areas of the Clackamas that Senator Wyden put a bill. A buddy of mine helped testify, and in 2010, President Obama signed it into law to protect this area from logging. It has some of the oldest growth trees in the state in this one area, and so I like the name. That pretty much was it. And of course, he said, "You can't call it Big Bottom," and I said, "Watch me." So I did.
I like it. So tell me about, you've got American Straight Bourbon Whiskey. So talk to me about that.
Yeah, so let me tell you about a little bit about the company. I'll tie into that one. You can get in this business a couple of different ways, and Tom actually doesn't remember, but he's one of the guys that I talked to probably around 2008, and he relayed a story about him and his partner actually starting out in a room about the size of a bathroom and starting with the small still and going from there. And I talked to a lot of people in the industry to try to really find out where I wanted to do it, and what came apparent was getting the brand established and getting moving with that. So we actually flipped it on its head and went a different route and started out as an independent bottler. And so what we did is we spent most of our time looking for product and looking for cool things to do to the product, which the second bottle you'll see that way. Part of the business plan was to move into distillation. We are this year, so that's part of my big news. The still is on order. I'm buying fermenters this week, and we're going to get moving. I've already got a distiller in place. And so we've taken a different approach, but it was important for us to get the brand out there. Tom knows about the SF World Spirits Competition. The second product I've got behind me actually won the first year I entered it. And so it was kind of one of those things of getting a gold medal, and then you realize, oh, shit, I've gone from having 4 barrels in my warehouse to having about 200 in the matter of 3 months. Essentially what that involves is constantly buying a new car and never driving it. because we do as much aging as possible and all the processing stays in-house.
So what
So
was
it's
the
always an
product that
interesting
won the
problem.
award?
The port finish.
So your straight bourbon whiskey finished in port casks.
Yeah, that one actually, the port barrels come out of California because I look for a specific type of barrel to put it in. And when the company got started, I had those barrels before I had any booze. And so trying to figure out how to store these things in the right temperature was very interesting. But we managed to pull it off, and we started producing it. It's the one finished product that we're now up to 7 batches of. Sad to say, it's going to be going away for a while. So it's going to be taking a little hiatus for a couple of years. But, you know, it's available now at your favorite liquor store or in the back booth.
So now when you say port casks, so that's actually port wine, correct?
Correct. So we take well-aged bourbon, and in this case with batch number 6, it was a 6-year-old bourbon. Take it out of the new barrels, which at that point in time it ceases to become bourbon if you do something else to it, and we put it in the tawny port barrels. It stays in the tawny port barrels really depending on the season. It can stay in there as low as 4 months. It can stay there as long as 6 months. This one was about 6 months due to the temperatures in the warehouse and the fluctuation. And it becomes a distilled spirit specialty at that point in time, though the feds make us call it very awkwardly straight bourbon whiskey finished in port casks, which just rolls off the tongue. It's such a good marketing tool.
It's a long domain.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Don't like it that much, but what the hell.
Okay, so 4-year aged rum, Calhoun Brothers Adventure Spirits.
All right, so kind of like we spin off different brands depending on what we want to do. And so at one point in time, I wanted to have a brand that I could have a little fun with and not take it seriously. Not that we're not serious about what's in the bottle, but it was everything outside of that I wanted to have fun with. So after about a half a bottle of Lefroy, I started to write a story of 2 brothers, Theodore G. and George T. Calhoun. And I started with their parents and then worked the story all the way down. I said, this is actually a pretty interesting story. Of course, the next morning, it wasn't that interesting, but I had to do a little refinement. And here was born the Calhoun brothers. The symbolism that exists with Calhoun is very true to myself. I am Theodore G. Calhoun, the character on here. Just to show you the front of the label, that's my paternal grandfather twice. 1842 is the year that the college I graduated from was started. It's Charleston Harbor on the front. Calhoun is a street in Charleston, South Carolina, not to be confused with the vice president that had to, I think he got kicked out. And we actually use Big Bottom whiskey barrels to do part of the aging with this one. So unlike Tom's, which is an agricole-style rum, this is a traditional-style rum. It's a molasses-based. Why? Tom hit it on perfectly. We do things that we like. So whatever our taste bud goes is what we actually end up producing. So we never produce anything that we don't like ourselves. Otherwise, you really can't get behind it. So that's where Calhoun comes from. Pretty good product. Come out there and try it out. Come out there and try all the spirits out back there.
So what do you do? What do you do? What do you personally, when you drink Calhoun Brothers Adventure Spirits aged rum? That's also very short.
Yes, it is.
How do you drink it? What do you do with it?
In a glass.
Just straight. Just straight.
A glass. That's it.
Just glass. Okay. And how do you drink your whiskey?
In a glass. But the one thing I will say about it is I do like mine usually neat with just a little bit of a splash. Great cocktails out there. And as you wouldn't cook with crappy wine, don't drink mixed drinks with crappy liquor. We have a lot of great recipes on our website, both websites actually. But bigbottomwhiskey.com is probably the best one. It's got all of our products. We probably do anywhere, depending on the year, from 3 to 12 products. But a good cocktail goes a long way.
Excellent. So I have a couple questions for you guys. It seems like in the Northwest, this whole spirits thing is kind of on the rise. Is my sense correct?
Yep. Yes, and actually we are now over 50 distilled spirit permits in the state. We have about 40-something producing distilleries, meaning they actually have an end product. Some of the distilled spirits permits that are out there, they're doing it for industrial purposes. They've got to have the license. Oregon continues to grow. At one point, we did lead the nation outside Kentucky. Washington's coming on pretty strong right now, but we're still in the top 5 or so, you'd say, guys, about top 5? Yeah.
So do you have any thoughts on why this is happening here in Oregon?
Well, because we love good things here. But I think the biggest credit has to go to the craft brewers. They're the ones who created you guys, the customers who appreciate local small batch stuff. And you look at where there's distilling, I think there was craft brewing first. So I mean, we couldn't have come first. So big hat tip to all you beer drinkers out there. Good job.
Excellent. And so Michelle, you're newer on the scene. Is that correct? So you're kind of this new wave. So how long have you guys been around? 4 years. So talk to me briefly about kind of what led you to actually start doing this.
Our dad actually had the idea because we've been distilling in our family for over 7 generations. Okay. And so we forced him into retirement, and he said, okay, then I'll start distilling. And so he started a distillery business and reeled the 5 kids together and said, go and sell this stuff now and promote it. And so that's how our business got started.
I didn't know what stage. Sorry.
Yeah.
So you made it.
Yes.
Excellent. Welcome.
Thank you, and thank you for not telling me what stage to be at. I was over there for 20 minutes waiting for you.
It was actually Tom that did that. He didn't want me to, so.
Fair enough, I made it.
I'm making that up. It was not Tom, it was Ted. It was none of them. All right, so tell us who you are and who you're with.
Eastside Distilling. We're out of Southeast Portland. We've been around about 7 years. We're going to be talking about our Portland potato vodka as well as some others today.
So I don't know if this is true or not. Anybody like Bloody Marys? So what I have been told, and I don't know if it's true or not, but people that love Bloody Marys, I consistently hear that potato vodka makes for the best Bloody Marys. Anybody ever heard that besides me?
Yes.
So why do you have so you agree?
I would agree that ours makes great Bloody Marys.
Have you heard the idea that potato vodka makes for good Bloody Marys?
I have, and I'm not sure the story behind that, though.
Well, some people say it because it kind of has just a clean, smooth finish that really adapts well. You kind of get a little better flavor with the whole Bloody Mary flavor. At least that's what I've been told.
I would agree.
Excellent. And the more I drink, the smarter I'll get, and I'll have a better answer at 10 why that is actually the case.
As will I.
Excellent. So, and then Burnside Double Barrel Bourbon.
Absolutely. So that is our, obviously, double barrel bourbon. It starts as our Burnside bourbon, which is also on the table there. The first 4 years, the bourbon spends in a...
Talk right into the mic.
The first 4 years, it spends in a American white oak barrel, heavily charred, 4 years, and that's our Burnside bourbon. For this, after the 4 years, it spends another 60 days in an Oregon coastal oak barrel, toasted, so not so much of a charred. Gives it more of a vanilla body, whereas the Burnside bourbon has more of a caramel body.
And this is the Burnside bourbon here.
Yes, both 96 proof.
Excellent.
Both are fantastic by themselves or make great Manhattans and Old Fashions.
So what I like is it says put some sideburns on your face. That's kind of fun. I like that.
Yes. Whiskey will put hair on your chest. This will put sideburns on your face.
All right, so I already said that I like beer, but whiskey's better, and you guys have a Marionberry whiskey.
Absolutely. This is our Marionberry whiskey. Came out last summer. We actually made it for the Berry Festival, but it's so popular that we're continuing to make it. It starts as our Burnside bourbon, and we infuse it with pounds of Marionberries out of Marion County. Makes great Manhattans if you swap it out for the sweet vermouth. Makes a great Marionberry Manhattan. Also good with some just soda water and lime. The tartness actually accents the fruit really well. It's 60 proof, very tasty.
And I've had it just straight, old-fashioned night whiskey, no water, no ice, just put it in a glass. Unless I'm alone, then maybe just the bottle. No, I'm just kidding.
And they're passing out samples right now, so enjoy.
Excellent.
Good over ice cream also.
Oh, it's good over ice cream. So just as we close, if any of you have any thoughts, so you mentioned ice cream, so you put ice cream with your Marionberry whiskey.
You can, yes.
Excellent. So do any of the three of you have any unusual pairings that you like to do with any of your products?
If you guys have never tried the drinking vinegars from Somm, you can actually make really nice gimlets. We do something with gin, fresh squeezed lime, if you can afford it. The Honey Somm drinking vinegar and our ginger liqueur, and you can bounce out tart and sweet and spicy. So check out drinking vinegars.
That's awesome. Anybody else? You have a favorite pairing? No? Fair enough. A glass? Yeah, he's glass. How do you drink it? In a glass. In a glass. All right. All right, well, thank you so much. I was delighted you're here. You all did a great job. So I would encourage you to go check out these great distillers. They make amazing stuff. I love it. And they're all small business people who would very much appreciate your business. I've tried each of their products, and I highly recommend them very, very much. Take care.